Tonight on CTV News, Redcliffe schools set to learn their fate, and a local bodybuilder takes home gold on the world stage. Kia ora, good evening. It's D-Day for another Christchurch school threatened with closure. Redcliffe School will know tomorrow whether it'll move back to its main road site. Current Redcliffe School Principal Kim Alexander says all they can do is wait.
Well, we've just been informed that the Minister of Education will meet with the Redcliffe Board of Trustees tomorrow and inform us of her interim decision. The community has made their wishes so very clear to her with almost 3,000 submissions. We would hope that the Minister has listened to the community's desires and read the submissions, and we would hope that she has made the right decision.
Submissions were made to Education Minister Hikia Parata to try and stop the school from closing. Redcliffe has been operating out of the Van Ash Deaf Education Centre since 2011 after concerns were raised regarding rockfalls on their former site. Well, Rangiора's new medical facility officially opened today. Imogen McLennan has more.
Rangiora has welcomed a new facility, its own health hub, at an opening this morning. The $7 million maternity facility, the first stage of the hub, will be an absolute asset to the area, local MP Matt Ducey said.
Very much a year of openings. We've opened the Kaiapoi, the Rangiora and the Oxford Town Halls, the new Ashley Bridge, we've got the new retail precincts, and now this first-class healthcare facility.
And Mr Ducey has reason to welcome the facility. It's where his second child was born just over a week ago. Mr Ducey was joined at the opening by his wife Veronica, the newborn baby James and 2-year-old daughter Emily. They are an example of one of the families that has already enjoyed the facility before it was officially opened.
I'm absolutely thrilled with the way this project has gone, I must say. It's been on time and on budget, which is great. And you can see the results are fantastic.
The purpose-built facility has taken 5 years to build and offers maternity services as well as beds for people who need time to recover and flexi-beds for others recovering after surgery. It is a direct response to growing population and birthing rates in the area, replacing the old Rangiora Hospital.
Today we're here to celebrate the official opening of the Rangiora Health Hub. This facility really is a focal point for the health services in North Canterbury. When you compare the old with the new, they're really light years apart.
While it is fully a maternity facility, plans are already in place for expansions into other areas.
Then we're looking forward to stage 2 when we're able to bring the Heatley outpatients from Christchurch over here so we can put our community services and have our outreach clinics and those type of things. So that'll be stage 2 and probably in reality a couple of years' time.
But for now, it's simply a place for new mothers with 17 births already in the new unit. It has also been a place to recover for mothers like Megan White, who was transferred there to recover after birthing at Christchurch Women's Hospital. She received a visit from Health Minister Dr Jonathan Coleman and Waimakariri MP Matt Ducey after having given birth to a baby girl earlier this morning. Imogen McLennan, CTV News.
Fewer Canterbury cancer patients are receiving treatment within 2 months of diagnosis. Latest statistics for the July to September quarter show 72% are receiving treatment within 62 days of diagnosis, a 1.4% drop from the previous quarter. The national goal is 85%. The figures are being blamed on the continued issues medical services are facing in the aftermath of the earthquakes. The CDHB's ranked 8th out of the 20 district health boards across New Zealand. In the South, Canterbury District Health Board ranked 16th, with 63% receiving treatment within 2 months of diagnosis, a slight improvement on its previous quarter. White Ribbon Day is back for another year, raising domestic violence awareness, but there's continued concern regarding the number of incidents not being reported. It's an issue affecting many people throughout the region. Now White Ribbon's back to raise awareness.
The last couple of years we've done a march and a rally, and what we've found is with the logistics of everything, it's just easier to have it in one space. So this year we're going back to the cathedral, and it's going to be taking a break, and it's a high-vis day. Mosscrop
Giblin's an ambassador for the White Ribbon Appeal, working with families to reduce domestic violence.
It's been going for about 10 years, and they did some research themselves, and the level of knowledge about white ribbon has grown hugely. So as far as awareness about it, it's great. It's about 75%.
But although awareness is up, so are cases. The statistics paint a grim picture of domestic violence throughout the region, but the numbers only show a small percentage of reported incidents. 19
call-outs a day to police for family violence incidents in the city, which is about 7,000 per year. And we know research says only about 20% of incidents are being reported. So you're talking about 5 times that. So roughly 100 a day and 35,000 in the city, which is enormous.
With the campaign urging for people to speak out about the issue, it can be difficult to determine the scale of the problem.
From a research perspective, are the numbers increasing because people are reporting more, which would be a really good thing, that people feel safer and they're more aware of where to report. But on the other side, still 7,000 call-outs a year for police is far too many.
But help is on hand.
It's about just letting them know there's services available, there's help available, and that we're a part of their community.
The event will be held at Cathedral Square tomorrow. The final stage of the Durham Street Bridge earthquake repairs is underway, with the project lifting off this morning. Chelsea Daniels explains.
One of Christchurch's busiest bridges is ready for its major earthquake repair work. The 38-year-old Durham Street Bridge suffered major damage in the earthquakes, and the concrete beams as well as the pierheads which support the deck of the bridge are cracked and crumbling.
It originally was up probably this high, coming out and then squared off on the edge. As you can see, the bearing plates under here, there's not a lot of concrete holding them up anymore.
Up to 28 hydraulic jacks will lift the 500-tonne bridge around 10 millimetres so the team can repair the pierheads. They will then use hydro-demolition techniques to blast away old damaged concrete from each pierhead, exposing the steel reinforcing so new concrete can be poured. This will make each pierhead stronger and wider in order to support the deck of the bridge for the long term.
Yes, it is quite innovative the way they've approached it, and they've used the actual bridge piers themselves as the jacking point, so that's quite innovative, and that means there's less disruption, less footprint on the ground.
More than 11,000 cars use the Durham Street Bridge every single day, so SCIRT have tried to make the process as convenient as possible for commuters.
Yes, so there's going to be 18 nighttime closures between 8 p.m. and 5 a.m. in the morning, and we're not allowing traffic over during the jacking operation.
The bridge will be closed to all traffic, including pedestrians, between 8 p.m. and 5 a.m. tomorrow and Thursday nights this week. The repair work on all 11 pierheads is aimed to be complete around August next year. Chelsea Daniels, CTV News.
Well, still to come here on CTV News, a local bodybuilder takes out gold in South Africa. Welcome back. A Christchurch bodybuilder's taken top honours at the World Championships, her first international competition. Now putting the local bodybuilding scene on the world stage, she believes Canterbury is stronger than ever. A world champion, back from her overseas adventure.
I competed in 2 competitions here in Christchurch this year and decided that I wanted to do an international competition. So after nationals I got picked in the New Zealand team to go to South Africa.
And she has something to show for it, taking out the top prize, the world's best amateur bodybuilder. It's been a lifelong goal for Gray. She's been taking part in bodybuilding championships for the past 15 years throughout the country, taking her first international step and winning it.
It didn't sink in for a long time, but yeah, it feels good now.
It's now even better for Gray. She can now officially compete in the professionals category.
I did my class and took that out, and then went and competed with the pros as well on the same night. So I had my pro debut on the same night.
And it's been an interest of hers from a young age.
I had my school books when everyone else had like bands and stuff like that. I had bodybuilders on the cover of my school book, so I've loved it from when I was little. However, I used to do athletics, so I was a sprinter for most of my childhood, and I injured my feet and couldn't go on the track and started at the gym and never went back to the track.
Getting up early each morning and training for 3 hours a day. She works a part-time job along with 2 kids. Nothing has stopped her.
The thought of getting up is harder than once you've actually got your feet on the ground and you're going. It's fine, you know. So yeah, everybody struggles, but it's just getting that first few steps up.
But she believes Canterbury is the place to be when it comes to training.
I lived up in Auckland for a while, and it wasn't so strong up there, but Cantabrians kind of get that grit in their teeth and they want to be the best.
She's taking a short break now and looking to take to the international arena again next year. For the first time ever, 2 entrants have shared the title of South Island Farmer of the Year. The Lincoln University Foundation competition was awarded to Omarama Station and Clearwater Mussels of Marlborough. Omarama Station is largely a sheep and beef farm with hydro and tourism operations. Scientific reserves also run on the site. Clearwater Mussels operates 90 mussel farms ranging from 2.5 to 80 hectares, supplying food and pharmaceutical markets. Well, now let's cross to Bridget Rutherford in the newsroom with what's happening in your neighbourhood.
Thanks, Jared. If you're heading down Riccarton Road, you'll need a lot of patience for the next 7 days. A section of the road between Matapo and Rotherham Streets has been down to 1 lane since Sunday. This is so new bus stops and bus priority traffic signals are installed for the opening of the Southern Bus Lounge on the corner of Division Street. The speed limit has been dropped from 50 k's to 30. And here's something you might not know about the sand at Akaroa Beach. It's specially brought in by the truckload. About 52 tonnes of sand is brought in from O'Kane's Bay Beach when stocks are running low and when the Christchurch City Council has enough money. But Council Parks Unit Manager Andrew Rutledge says the sand situation is looking pretty good this year and extra sand won't be needed. The fresh sand preps the beach for the busy season to keep it looking nice. It costs the City Council about $12,000 to bring it in each time. Lincoln's Catholic community can now see what the rebuild of their local church will look like. St Patrick's Catholic Church on the corner of Gerald Street and Westbelt was severely damaged by the September 2010 and February 2011 earthquakes. Following engineering assessments, it was deemed uneconomic to repair and strengthen and was deconstructed in December. The planning and design is being coordinated by a parish group and building is expected to get underway next year. Dry conditions have led to a restricted fire season being declared in Selwyn. Principal Rural Fire Officer Douglas Marshall says the fire risk in Selwyn has increased in recent weeks. Under the restrictions, only gas barbecues, crop residue and rubbish fires inside contained drums can be lit without a permit in rural areas. In the high country and hill areas of Selwyn, a restricted fire season is permanently in place. More information about the fire restrictions can be found on the Selwyn District Council website. Canterbury University's Professor of Marine Science David Shiel has been named the New Zealand Science Communicator of the Year. The award highlights the works of a practicing scientist for excellence in communicating science to the general public or any department of science or technology. New Zealand Association of Scientists held the award ceremony in Wellington recently. Professor Shiel shared the award with Waikato University's Professor and Chair of Coastal Science, Christopher Battershill. And Parkland's Residents Association Chairwoman Alyssa Smith says local playgrounds should be given the X factor. Smith showed the Burwood Pegasus Community Board photos of the parks currently in the area. She told the board they all looked the same and children should have the X factor in their parks. She showed the board her ideas of what X factor parks should have. She says children aged 9 to 14 should be challenged when they come to the park rather than having equipment that's meant for younger children. The board has asked City Council staff to investigate further. From the newsroom, I'm Bridget Rutherford.
Thanks for that, Bridget. Well, it's a proud Christchurch tradition, and this year it turns 30 years old. The Christchurch Boys Choir is preparing for one of their biggest celebrations yet, but as Cass Merritt found out, there's more to this choir than meets the eye.
With voices like angels. The Christchurch Boys Choir is something unique.
I don't know of any other boys' choir in the country that is purely for boys with treble voices, and to have a choir of 26, 27 boys is is really special.
The choir's gearing up for their 30th anniversary concert after missing out on their 25th.
There was a big celebration planned, but the earthquakes disrupted plans, obviously, and so when it came to the 30th, we thought no, we'd make a big deal of it.
That concert's ahead on December 5th at St Margaret's College, but it's past traditions being celebrated.
We had left everything.
This former conductor's a huge part of that history, taking the boys on their first tours here and across the Tasman in the 90s. He was also there to help pick up the pieces after the quakes.
If anything, the kids in the choir need strong leadership. And I've been through it all before, so I thought I could hang in there and keep the choir still working, because I think once you lose the interest and it disbands, I think it's more harder to go and reconnect again.
Strong foundations have remained unchanged after Clifton Cook established the choir in 1985.
It was just a choir that the kids could sing in tune, they learned singing, they learned to have fun, and they also interacted, because a lot of the kids who have met through the boys' choir still continue to be friends nowadays. Not only do the boys sing together, but they play, camp and tour together.
Meeting up with the lads on the weekend. Yeah, workshop's my favourite. I like the tour. Yeah, real fun. I think I'll definitely always be into singing, just because of all the experience I've had with the choir and just being in New Zealand. It's really helped express me, and because of that I think I'll just keep doing it.
Some choir members have gone on to do different things in and out of music.
I mean, Andrew Ellis has got to be one of the cream students, because he was fantastic in the boys' choir, and he's gone on to be a rugby player. While the future is bright for these boys, it's this moment in time they sound truly special. There's a great demand for men to carry on into the Christchurch opera scene and the music scene. There's a great demand for those people, for our boys to go through there. And I see this as a kind of a preparing and nurturing and encouraging those people to move on.
And that's certainly something to celebrate. Cass Merritt, CTV News.
Well, still to come here on CTV News, Sport plus your region's weather forecast. Welcome back. Now here's Gordon Finlater with the latest in local sport.
Well, leading with rugby tonight, and Todd Blackadder's crusade will come to an end at the conclusion of the 2016 Super Rugby season. Blackadder's 8th season in charge of the Crusaders will be his last, after he felt the time was right to leave the franchise.
I mean, it's been an absolute privilege working and coaching in this organisation and for this team, but I just felt the time was right. Lucky that I've got one more crack to try and be part of a winning campaign.
A review of last season played a part in Blackadder's choice to make a public decision now, not wanting his future to cause distractions, something that plagued 2015's campaign.
All Blacks coming back and managing game time. There were some coaches were looking at their next job and were away for weeks with our campaign. Other franchises approaching our coaches. There's a big World Cup out there. There were players that were coming back that weren't fit and ready to go at the start of the season. Slow starts. All these things are massive distractions, and that came out loud and clear around coaching and the distractions and the impact that had on the team.
While the 2016 Crusaders season will solely occupy Blackadder's attention, there are sure to be plenty of opportunities available for him in the future.
Once I get the season over, I'll certainly have a look and reevaluate where I am with my career and my future, and what my better half wants to do. But if I was to do that during our campaign, that would be the exact distraction I'm trying to avoid. So I'm going to really focus on the Crusaders and try and nail a really good year.
And he is hoping 2016 will be a year to remember for Crusaders fans, as Toddy looks to create more moments to add to his list.
2011 was special. But I think in every campaign there's special things that happen along the way. I mean, last year was even though it was a difficult season for all, what's really come out of that I think could really pave the way for the future. You know, we've got a really good opportunity next year to what I believe is to get the Crusaders back on track.
And plans for getting back on track are beginning to take swing as the side now begin preparations ahead of the summer's pre-season program. Well, finally tonight to basketball, where 2 local players are saying their final farewells before heading on life-changing trips to the United States next month. Sam Timmins and Laken Wairau both jet off in the coming weeks to begin their development at US college level. Canterbury Ram Timmins is off to Seattle to meet up with his Washington State Huskies before he hits the court later next year.
The idea is when I get over there, I'm going to start getting ahead on classes, getting in the gym, just working out, get that 8-month period to just get right, and then so once my class comes through, hopefully I'm going to be ready to perform well on the court.
It's a much different case for Laken Wairau. After only finding out a couple of weeks ago that she would be heading to Indiana University in the illustrious Big Ten division, she'll be getting straight into the action.
Yeah, I think 2 days before my first game, so I arrive, I start training, train again the next day, and then I'm into play. So, even more pressure, but it's good, it's good.
The sky is now the limit for these two, who will be working with top coaches in world-class facilities. The trend for many NBA stars sees them ditch college after just a year, something Timmins could potentially weigh up.
I mean, it's got to be tempting for anyone. That's the NBA's, it's the goal. So if you've got that chance to get there, it's always going to be tempting to take it. But I'm not going to dive in head first to anything I'm not sure about. And if I feel like I need to get the degree, I'll stick it out and get the degree. And if I feel like I'm in a position where I could play well in the NBA, then I'm going to consider that. But nothing's really too sure at the moment.
And it hasn't been an easy ride to securing college scholarships, with both players giving up sleep to develop in the mainland Eagles Academy.
It's actually really hard to get up that early in the morning, but you have to do what you have to do, and if getting up at 5:30 in the morning is is going to help you reach a goal, then you just have to do it.
Well, you're up to date with the latest in local sport. I'm Gordon Findlater for CTV Sport.
Thanks for that, Gordon. Now it's time for your region's weather forecast. And Mercy, it was another scorcher today.
Thanks, Jared. Yes, it was another lovely warm day today. Those northwesterly winds still with us, and it was actually even hotter than it was yesterday. Today's highs, Timaru, you actually got to 28 degrees today. You took out the warmest temperature for the Canterbury region. Central Canterbury, 25 degrees was the high there for Christchurch, 24 for Akaroa and Leeston, 25 also for Ute Downfield, and 26 for Ashburton. Heading further north, you probably didn't need too many layers today. 24 was your high there, Kaikoura, Cheviot and Hammer Springs, 25 for Amberley and Rangiora, and Culverden on 26. Over to the mountain ranges now, but cooler here unfortunately, just 12 degrees for you Arthur's Pass. Tomorrow we're also seeing that northwesterly airflow, so you can expect the warm, humid temperatures. 27 for you Timaru, and northwesterly winds, 11 for your overnight low. Ashburton, get ready for another hot day. 27 is also your expected high there. Quite blustery northwesterly winds though, could even be a little bit gale force. Christchurch, look forward to a really nice day for your Wednesday. 28 degrees there and northerly winds. Might need to get the aircon cranking. Kaikoura, 26 for you with an 11 for your overnight low there, with northerly winds coming through during the day. Checking out the rest of the Canterbury region for tomorrow, northwesterly winds are present here. 26 is the high there for Temuka and Geraldine. Central Canterbury, you can also expect really beautiful warm temperatures. 27 degrees there for Downfield and Methven, with those northwesterly winds quite blustery. Northwesterlies for Akaroa on 26 as well. Heading further north now, northwesterlies for Hammer Springs, Amberley, Culverden and Oxford. 27 for Hammer Springs and Culverden there. A little bit different though.
Over in the Alpine region, just 15 for Arthur's Pass, with westerly winds and a few showers coming your way. Checking out the upcoming days, Thursday's looking very similar to Wednesday, very hot, but we could be even seeing it get a little bit hotter. So northwesterlies again, 27 degrees for Ashburton, and some places may even get to the 30-degree mark. On Friday, we're seeing northwesterly winds again in the morning, however, these will be turning southerly and a few showers coming in later on. So it's going to start out lovely and fine, but then that air temperature is definitely going to drop. On Thursday though, most places remaining dry and fine with those beautiful warm temperatures between 26 and 30 degrees. Watch the rain showers there for Arthur's Pass though. A few heavy falls for you unfortunately. On Friday starts out lovely and sunny, fine weather and dry, however rain will be coming through in the afternoon probably as we see a southerly come through, that air temperature getting a little bit cooler. So over the next few days we're expecting Wednesday and Thursday to be super hot, hottest days of the week. Unfortunately Friday we see a little bit of a cold snap coming through, and unfortunately that's going to last over the weekend as well. That's your update for Tuesday though. Back to you, Jared.
Thanks for that, Mercy, and that is CTV News for tonight. You can find all our stories and bulletins on demand at ctv.co.nz. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Jared McCulloch. Good evening.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.